the pungent scent of his aftershave trailing him from room to room, the sweet taste and crunchy texture of her famous rugelach melting in the mouth in waves of loving decadence, the dog-eared, well-annotated book that he always referenced in deep discussions at the dinner table, the small golden locket containing a picture of her grandparents, eliciting stories of sacrifice and survival, a favorite tune always known as our song that forever bound this moment to those early days of youthful love and dreams of the future. These singular sensory experiences have the power to unlock treasuries of memory and the intense and sometimes unexpected emotions they trigger. Holding an heirloom can encapsulate the tumultuous saga of a grandparent. Smelling holiday cooking can flood the mind with years of gatherings when all were present and together. The first notes of a tender melody evoke the early years of marriage when all lay ahead and anything was possible. The literary lion, Marcel Proust, famously detailed such an experience as he bit into a Madeleine cookie with tea. That first bite not only brought a powerful memory rushing to the fore, it linked him to something transcendent as, quote, the vicissitudes of life had become indifferent to me, its disasters innocuous, its brevity illusory, this new sensation having had on me the effect which love has of filling me with a precious essence. This is an exceedingly tough and very personal Yizkor service for me, as I reflect upon the passing of my father, Rabbi Martin S. Weiner, last spring. And while I have been honored to share more than 30 Yizkor messages throughout my career, hoping to bring some comfort and perspective to my community, this one is perhaps the hardest because it is the most painful. But like Proust, and I'm sure like so many of you, there are physical mementos that you cherish, keepsakes whose value lies more in their symbolic power than their material substance. In this difficult moment, there are two items with me now: my father's tallis and his wedding ring, that bless me with their capacity to unlock potent memory and fill me with a transcendent wonder at my place in the world. This tallis was my dad's go-to garb for serving his community as rabbi. It reflects the dual bonds he and I shared, for he was both a father and a rabbinic mentor. My father so deeply valued his role as mentor, guiding me through the first years of my rabbinate at times of waning confidence and professional uncertainty. He was a loving and candid sounding board for any and all calls upon his time, even later, as I sought to pay it forward by becoming a mentor to others. And he did this for literally dozens of rabbis for the better part of 6 decades. Many rabbis are renowned for their oratory, their erudition, their notoriety. And yes, Marty Weiner made his mark in all these ways. But it was his innate, abundant, and overflowing menschlichkeit, his inherent goodness and sweetness that distinguished him more than anything else. I have a picture from my rabbinic ordination of my father and me. He lent me this tallis to wear in that picture, for I didn't yet have a rabbinic atara, a rabbinic tallis of my own. And he beamed a smile, irrepressibly proud and inextricably connected to me as both son and colleague. And as I wear it now, I hope that I too can be the kind of rabbi and the kind of man that he was and that he hoped I could be. One of the first things I searched for after my father's death was this ring, put in a drawer for safekeeping when his medical needs required it. I placed it on my finger within hours of his passing, and it hasn't left my finger since. It signifies not only his loving 63-year commitment to my mother, but also his setting of family as a priority. A rabbi of a large, diverse, and vibrant community is essentially committed to two families, one in the synagogue and one in the home. And there are so many times when these demands and responsibilities are at cross purposes. The weekend obligations that preclude going to the games and events that most parents attend. The vacations cut short for a needed return to officiate at a funeral. The late-night calls that take away from intimate moments of family time. It is an anticipated sacrifice and profound privilege that anyone in the helping professions bears willingly and lovingly. Nevertheless, it's a challenge. But my father seemed to find a way to strike the right balance, trading quantity of time for quality of time with us. I remember the extended card trip he and I took right after I turned 16 and needed the driving practice. We made our way up the California coast into Ashland, Oregon, the start of an annual trek to experience the Shakespeare he so enjoyed and wished to share with all of us. It is no surprise that in the summer between my junior and senior year of college, I came to my parents with my desire to become a rabbi amidst the sonorous cadences of the bard and the verdant climes of the Rogue River Valley. As I have sought to strike a similar balance in my life, I now appreciate much more the manner with which he met this challenge. And I revere the example he set as I strive to be the kind of husband, the kind of father, and someday grandfather he was to all of us. I know that many of you possess similar talismans, symbols that tell and teach far beyond their mere form. If you've yet to find something, I'm sure even a cursory search with intention will turn up surprising treasures. I hope you'll take the opportunity today and in all the days ahead to hold these timeless tokens closely to heart and mind and conscience, for they are so vital to the mourning and healing process, comforting us as we move from early stages of sadness and loss to later stages of perspective and gratitude, as we embrace the lessons learned and qualities embodied by the loved and lost, forging timeless memories into lives lived in loving tribute, the true essence of our immortality.